I hear you on the track. Shout out, this a baby.
What's good, y'all? We on the way, y'all. Hey, drop your city and state in the chat. Let us know where y'all checking in from. Also, drop y'all questions. We're going to be on here shortly.
I hear you on the track. Shout out, this a baby.
Are you looking to start your own cleaning company? Or maybe you started your cleaning company, but you just need a support group, some mentorship, some guidance. Hell, a bidding calculator just to help you know if you're pricing the job correctly. Join us at cleanbiznetwork.app. That's www.cleanbiznetwork.app today and get on the right track with your cleaning company. We have everything you could possibly need to get you going in the right direction. And see why we've been the leading cleaning business consulting company for the past 5 years, and why they call me AJ Simmons the cleaning business GOAT. So I can help you just like I've helped and my company has helped thousands of other people start and grow their cleaning companies. Go to the number one source today, www.cleanbiznetwork.app. Thank you.
Headed to the top, ain't none of y'all stopping me. Used to say I never get a ring, Charles Barkley. Now I got a wife, got kids, on property. Bubble-eyed beans that look like that be watching me. Okay, I lied about the beans, but that was hard though. I'm still in that black act, but she starred though. Cause that's all it takes. Don't flash it for. I'm on my grind, not no motherfucking fashion show.
What's good, everybody? Welcome in. I appreciate everybody's patience waiting on us and letting us get everything straight. It is that time, y'all, and today we talking about government contracts for commercial cleaning, all right? So, without further ado, I got to bring on the man of the hour because I ain't the one that's a specialist in that. I ain't really bid on a few, but I never actually did government contractors, so I brought some help with me today. So, without further ado, please welcome my guy, the owner of Aquaman Cleaning, Mr. Christian Gilbert. What's up, brother? Uh-oh, you're on mute.
What's up,
there
AJ?
We go.
Hey, everybody.
What's up, bro? Appreciate you coming on, first off.
Hey, appreciate you for having me, and appreciate you for allowing me to join your platform and help teach some people.
For sure. So I'm gonna move these comments out of the way too so we can see good. But yeah, man, so all right, bam. So I tell everybody we're talking government contracts, right? So first off, before we get into all that, can you just share a little bit about like who you are, a little bit about the, you know, you done 2 interviews with me already, so it's kind of repetitive, but it's probably somebody here that I don't know. So let the people know who we speaking to first off, so they can know, you know what I mean, what your qualifications, all that is.
Okay, cool. So my name is Christian Gilbert. I'm the owner of Aquaman Cleaning. We operate in both Tennessee and Arkansas. We excel at obviously government contracting, but my government contracts are on the state level. Okay. So I know everybody that like government contracting, ain't the government shut down? The federal government is shut down, not the state. So it doesn't have too much of an impact with the funding. I've been getting paid on time, no issues with that. So we have 18 accounts in Arkansas and 2 in Tennessee, and we're working on more. So
let's go. Hold on. Wait. You said 18 accounts. I think I got something for that. I think it goes a little something like that. Shout out to them 18 accounts though. That's hard right there. All right, but so all right, so you based out of Memphis. All right, so all right, cool. So when did you start your company?
Ooh, I don't know. I think 2022. I think 2022, 2021. Someone asked me the other day. I've been catch myself saying 3 to 4 years. Sometimes I say 4 to 5 years. So
yeah, it'd be hard to count it. You know what I mean? All right, but so all right, cool. So we want to talk cleaning business, well, government contracted for cleaning businesses today. So I'm waiting for y'all to start dropping y'all questions. So definitely drop them because I mean, y'all know I'm a professional interviewer, right? But I don't want to do all the asking questions. I want to let y'all ask the questions. And so just a reminder, his background is state and local. You know what I mean? And then we slowly but surely tap into federal as well. So if you want to get started in this government contract, there's money out here. And that was a great point that you brought up earlier, bro, where you talked about how, okay, we got the government shutdown or whatever. So people might be like, well, damn, I don't know if I want to, you know what I mean? But like you said, it ain't affecting yours because you ain't on that federal level. So that was a great point. I'm glad you addressed that immediately. So before we jump into it, though, I skipped. All right, so let's go ahead and rewind this right quick. And shout out to everybody that dropped their city and all that while we waiting on these questions to come in. So first off, shout out to Miss Charlotte of Assure Comfort Cleaning, CBN member. Says, I know this is going to be an awesome interview. Blessed to you both. I appreciate you checking in.
Thank you.
Who else we got? Tay Tobin says, Knoxville, Tennessee. Appreciate you checking in. Shout out to Knoxville.
Ooh, Knoxville.
Yeah, the Bat Mom, Reno, Nevada. Shout out to you, always popping in on the live. All right, who else we got? Terrion Carter says Memphis, Tennessee. So he out there with you.
Yeah, he's not too far from me. Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay. Florence, Alabama checking in. We got my guy, Top Notch Terry, checking in from my hometown, Portsmouth, Virginia. Appreciate you. Peace and prosperity, brother. All right. Alpha Mind Rome checking in. Appreciate you. Is that Rome like the Rome? Like, that's hard.
I saw it. Is it the Rome that wasn't built in one day?
Right? You know what I mean? Let me find out. I'm doing it like that, huh? All right. Another Memphis. Shout out to everybody checking in from Memphis. Shout out to Miss Iris Smith checking in. All right. Who else we got? Princess Little, Secrets LLC, Emporia. I believe that's Virginia, my home state. Shout out to you. All right. We got Aquaman himself. Now, I mean, also showing love in the chat. Appreciate that. Combat Cleaning out of Columbia, South Carolina all day. Appreciate that. Shout out to you and the husband over there. All right, what else we got? Isaiah, thank you for all the knowledge. Absolutely, I appreciate you checking in, taking advantage of it. All right, and then we got Way Too Live Outdoors. My guy, another Virginia native right there. Said, let's fucking go, let's get it. All right, and then let me see how many more we got. We got a few more. All right, Iris Smith says, I'm from Memphis. It seems like it's hard to win government contracts. We about to get into it. You got the right guy right here, so we're gonna get into it. Ask your questions. All right.
And
Way Too Live said. All right, so we get
Memphis has lots of contracts. I'm actually working on some, so it's kind of glad that you watching this live. So it's kind of good that you're watching this live. So
exactly. All right, but now I see the question, so I'm about to start this. I'm gonna start the other one, and we're gonna get into those. I'm gonna do a few more shout outs, and we're about to jump into it. Isaiah checking in from Austin, Texas. Appreciate that. We got Sutton Cleaning Solutions said, what up, AJ? Checking in from Atlanta, Georgia. Appreciate you checking in. And then I'm gonna check Instagram real quick. For the people who don't want to come over to YouTube, we got All Green, Davon Kenny checking in. Where is that? Oh, he didn't put what it is. All right, but appreciate you checking in. And then we got a few others over there. All right, cool. We're gonna jump right into it. All right. Oh, one more. My guy Wade himself, Mr. William Wade. Which ain't doing enough. Welcome back, my guy. It's been a while since I've seen you on here. Appreciate you checking in. And then, all right, cool. We got the questions coming. So let's jump right into this thing. All right, I'm gonna stop doing all this talking. First thing first, I guess we'll start with this one because this was a direct question. So, Way Too Live says, I'm bidding on a contract now. Are you subbing all the work out or a mix of W-2? So I'm going to let you tackle everything first, and then I got to add something.
Okay. Yeah, keep that question up so I can go to it. It just depends. Like for me personally, I do a mix of both. Some contracts are W-2, some are sub. But and I don't know if are you asking about one specific contract or were you asking about all of my contracts? Because that question was a little tricky.
I think you're talking all of them, like I guess your company in general.
Yeah, it's just a mix of both. You know, like me being in Nashville, I just subbed that one out to a contractor. The government does allow subcontracting. Sometimes they want you to list it before, but they're not too picky on. They're not going to be like, "Oh, AJ, you working with Krishna? You didn't even tell us. Oh, pull the bill." It's not like that. So
okay. And then I think I asked you this in the interview before, but I'm gonna do it again. So have you run into a situation where they're like, oh, you can't subcontract it for this particular bid, it has to be your company type of deal, or no?
No.
Cool. Okay, fair enough. I just want to make sure I ask these questions. All right, but so hopefully that helps. And Ira says, I'm from Memphis, seems like it's hard to win government contracts. So let's speak on that. Do you feel like, since you got government contracts in Memphis, so do you feel like it's hard to win government contracts there? If so, or if not, why?
I actually don't have any in the city of Memphis. Mine are they're in Nashville.
Got you.
And those are with the state. So, but from her, I would say where are you looking? So let's say, for example, if she's looking on SAM.gov, you're only going to find federal contracts. With that being said, you only find the federal contracts. There may not be that many federal buildings in the state. In the city of Memphis.
Okay.
But there's the city of Memphis. So you remember we said the state, local, and federal. Yeah. So that'll go under local. So you got the city of Memphis. They have police departments, police stations. What else? What else? Police officers. Oh, courthouses, juvenile detentions. All of those are
The
all
schools
under.
sometimes, the public schools.
Well, yeah, but it goes, yeah, the public schools, that's also considered government, but that's kind of like a different funding branch. But those are all government buildings. But yeah, you can just contact those. Like me right now, I can go ahead and announce this. I just got accepted to do work for the Shelby County School District. So hopefully.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay, we got another one on here. Tay Toba says, I don't even know where to start with it here in Knoxville. Do I go to my county page to find them? That's a great question.
Yeah, that kind of goes back to what the lady in Memphis. So I could just tell you what to do. Just type in Knoxville procurement, or I'm not sure what Knoxville County is, but I know Memphis County is like Shelby County procurement. So you type, the county of Memphis is Shelby County. So you type in Shelby County, which is the county, and procurement on Google. So you'll type in Knoxville City procurement, and then the county, same old, and then go to the state of Tennessee if you want state.
Facts. I love this. All right, but now let's see. We got another one here. We got Sutton Cleaning Solution says, how does the young man have contracts in Arkansas but live in Memphis? I love that question too. Go for it.
Okay, so that's funny. So I got to give you a little backstory. So I was staying in West Memphis, Arkansas when I started my company. Me knowing that Memphis is a bigger city, I got my LLC in the state of Tennessee, but I'm on a border city. So now I'm in Jonesboro, which is about an hour from Missouri, still an hour from Memphis. Well, when I was in West Memphis, I was only 15 minutes. So I'm still able to make those connections. I want to tap into Missouri too, but that's a story for another one. But I have Arkansas being so small, I was able to make a lot of connections, and that was it. They have so many counties in Arkansas. It's ridiculous. They have like over 50 counties. So when you go in that, you got 50 counties. And for me, I work with a lot of the child support. So each county has a child support. Some even have two. So now you're looking at like 100 to 120 buildings right there, real quick and easy. So, and one county to go to another county may only take you 15 minutes. So you can have the same worker working there sometimes.
And now I'm gonna add on to that too. So I will say this, because I don't know if you wanted us to kind of go in this direction about it, but you can do business from state to state with that one LLC you got from your home state. So you don't have to go do any type of extra registration, nothing. Now, when tax time come though, your CPA might have you might realize you're gonna have to pay state taxes to that state if they got state taxes, and if you fall in that category. But as far as just being able to legally do business there, even though your company, your stationed in one location, you absolutely can do that. So I want to add that on there as well.
That's true. Well, I want to add this. Now, I just started working with the Department of Human Services in Arkansas, and they made me get a foreign entity. But at first, when I was just working with the child supports, they didn't have no issue. But when I got that contract, they said, "Yeah, we need you to have this." So
there you go. And I would imagine that's probably because you know how when it's coming to these state and federal, like the state, well, government contracts in general is what I'm trying to say. When it comes to government stuff, sometimes they have a set aside, or they might have certain stipulations to where they have to contract with people that's based out of that state. So it could have been that reasoning for that in that case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what they said. And then I noticed, like, even with the city contracts, they say you must have a license within this city.
There you go.
But you can purchase after the contract's been awarded. So
that's what's up. Great. I'm glad we broke that down. That was an excellent question by Sutton Cleaning there. All right, but who else we got? Way Too Live says, when you bid it, what was it multiple areas you bid on, and those are the ones you won, or did you bid on everything and win all those buildings for that specific contract?
It took years. Well, really 2 years to get here. I started maybe 2 years. I don't know. I can't really remember. We're gonna say 2 years to be exact. I didn't get into government contracting. I was in Memphis, so I was doing a lot of Airbnbs, move out apartment cleaning. Then I quickly noticed that it's not it's not a guarantee to what I'm gonna make each month. So it's hard for me to bring clients on. I mean, cleaners on, and it's a lot of work. And I get kind of sick pretty easy, you know, and all that dust, and
Yeah.
it's quite a bit. So I just started thinking what's different, and then I did cold calling and stumbled across government contracting, and that's where we at here. So to answer your question, you said when I bid it on, do I bid on multiple areas? If they put out, so they'll put out each contract for each city or with each area. So let's say if, like just recently here in October, they had 3 bids going on, right? One was in Pocahontas, one was in West Helena, one was in Harrisburg. They all are 3 different bids, but they all for the same agency. Now, I've been seeing this with the DHS and the federal contracts. They'll put multiple buildings on one contract at a time. So you can either get awarded all of those or just 1 or 2. So it just depends on what the contract says and what they want. That's probably the best way I can really answer it.
Okay, fair enough. All right, and then real quick, I got to pause real quick. First off, if y'all getting value from this so far, you should, because he already dropping plenty of game. I need y'all to hit that like button right now. Please hit that like button. If you know somebody need to be hearing this right now, share it to them. Even if they working or they're busy, they might can catch it later. So share it this live, like this live, drop your comments. We're going to keep it going, y'all. As long as y'all keep asking the questions, we're going to actually stay. If y'all stop asking the questions, then we're going to go ahead and head out because we got stuff we can be doing. All right, so let's get to it. All right, happy Halloween to anybody that's celebrating, by the way. Now, before I go to the next question, bro, I got a question for you as well. Actually, you know what? I'm going to hold mine. I'm going to go ahead and go to the next one. All right, bam. So Iris says they was giving the people contracts and people was paying the kickback with Shelby County and the city. They're giving people contracts. And oh, shit, well, sounded some political stuff going on there. But I tell you what, here's what I would say to that. I'm not here to judge whether that's right or wrong. Clearly, you know, on a certain, we would definitely assume that that's wrong, right? And that, like, you shouldn't do that. That don't sound ethical. But I will say this: relationships are important. Yeah. That's what I will say. So I ain't saying paying kickback and all of that, but what I am saying is, if you know this person is in charge of hiring the person that get that contract, it will behoove you to get to meet that person. I ain't saying go kiss their ass, but what I am saying is network and see if you align with that person. If y'all can build a relationship, great. You might have a better chance of winning that contract in the future. So that's my feedback on that.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say. I would just say you never know how that relationship could end. They might have a good relationship when you started, but a year later, these government contracts last usually about 2 to 4 years. So they might be got a good relationship the first 2 years. Year 3, they done ticked them off. You come in, now you got it. And you don't have to have that buddy-buddy relationship. It's more business because they just need somebody for business.
There you go. And with that said, if they got a scandal going on, you damn sure don't want to be a part of that. Because like you said, because 4 years later, it might like they win it now, but then 4 years later, when the news article come out and they get exposed, you know what I mean? So definitely play that wise. I love that. All right, but shout out to Al Metro checking in. Said fam, CBN fam checking in.
What's up, Al Metro? How you doing?
All right. The Game of Dinosaur says, when you want contracts in a city or government, what requirements are asked of you? Like you said, you co-own. I got you. I co-own Donna's Cleaning Service in Phoenix, Arizona. So you got that one. When you want contracts with the city or the government, what requirements?
They ask like what like paperwork requirements. They're asking for insurance, pretty much the basics. Insurance, are you licensed? What's your EIN number? Who will be working here? It's all in the contract. Honestly, what you can do is to plug the contract up and ask ChatGPT what requirements are asked for in order to bid on this contract. And that's the best way because each contract is different. Like your state may ask for background checks, my state may not. The contract itself may say you need ID badges. Your cleaners may have to have outfits on. It just depends. So you gotta read.
All right, but
yeah.
All right. Isaiah says, can you walk us through an example process on how to solicit a government customer to close the contract?
Is he meaning like try to convince them to go with you, or
so? I think what's happening here is he has no idea how the whole process works, and he's basically coming at it from a private sector stance. So basically, I guess what you should probably do here is explain how the whole process worked for bidding on government contracts and then winning them and all that whole thing, because it's kind of it's different.
Oh, so how can I say that without giving out
Right?
too much?
We'll just simplify it. Yeah. I ain't saying. I mean, you give out what you want to give out, but what I mean, I guess I ain't trying to tell you give us a whole hour course. But
Right,
I guess
that is. I think that is what he's asking.
yeah.
Because it is different. Okay, this is what I do. Sign up for your procurement sites and wait for the emails. And sometimes they'll say there's a mandatory bid, sometimes there's not, and just put the paperwork in and submit the bid. I guess that's the best way to do it.
That's pretty much it.
You can't just knock on the door and say, "Hey, I see y'all. I've been hearing complaints that y'all building's dirty. Y'all need a cleaner." It goes by terms. They have to a cleaner. They have to complain so many amount of times for someone to get out the building to switch it over. They don't just switch over like Miss Susan did because her cleaner didn't clean for 2 days. It's all with the contract. The purchasing officer isn't even in the building, so. I think that's the best way to explain it without telling you to get that, without the course.
All right, but so speaking of course, there is a course coming. I know you knew, right? Like I knew y'all knew. It's definitely a course coming. I mean, if you're gonna keep giving and giving and giving, you got to get something at some point, especially if you want, especially like guidance, specific, particular guidance. So my guy Christian definitely partnered with me. He definitely got a course coming up on the way. So if you are interested, you can go to cleanbizuniversity.com/government. And that is at the bottom. It's been there the whole time. I forgot it was there. So make sure you definitely check out that if you're interested and just sign up. It's not for sale yet. We don't got it available yet, but we're trying to see if there's any interest out there to see, even if are you willing to even get that information and take that course. All right. So we're going to move to, one thing I did want to add to that too is, so he said example process of how to solicit the government. So in that process, right? So you was like, basically you get in the platform, when they start sending out bids and you apply for the bid. That's the overview of it. I wanted to ask you one thing about that. They got pre-bid meetings, right?
Just depends on the contract. Some are mandatory, some aren't. But yeah, they do.
Okay, but fair enough. That's a little bit of game. The next question I want to ask you is pricing, because people swear that, okay, I don't want government contracts because they only take the lowest bidder and you ain't gonna make no money in them. What you got to say in response to that?
Oh, I was waiting for this question. I was thinking about this question while I was working out earlier.
Right.
Okay, this would be the best way. AJ, let's say AJ company is, I don't know, we're gonna say he's like a Jan Pro's, a big company, he's getting it in. AJ making about $1 million a year, right? Little old Christian, he's making $500,000. So my profit margins don't have to be as big as his. I don't have to. What's big to him? I mean, hold on. What's small to him can be big to me, and what's big to him is enormous to me. You get what I'm saying? Everyone's on a different level. So I say government contracting is a good, easy way to get your foot in the door. See, my game plan was to get the funding because I know I'm gonna get paid guaranteed every month. I got this contract for 2 to 4 years. Now I can take that funding and switch it over to the commercial side because I can have higher profit margins and charge higher on the commercial. So you got to have a game plan with it. Now, I will say this: most of my contracts I'm bringing in between 35 to 40%.
Nice.
So I don't think that's low.
Not at all.
Especially when I go to these bigger companies and I'm finding out these companies they're charging warehouses $60,000 and they only keeping 10%, sometimes even 8%. Yeah. So I think my little margins, like I said, but that with that big number they making $8,000 a month. But I mean, yeah, it's levels to it. I can make that. I can get that the same way if I get 10 contracts, and not have to have so big of a headache because the government contracts are really, really, really easy. Like no wiping desk are really allowed. It's just probably easier to clean in Miss Susan's office, honestly.
No, I love that. And you know what? That was a great way to break that down. And I'm gonna cheat for them one more time. I ask them another great question. So when it comes to like, all right, let's just say, for example, in the private sector, for the most part, a commercial cleaning client can cancel it at any time. Like you got your contract in place. but usually there's a stipulation in there that would allow them to get out the contract. With
Right.
government contracting, is it the same, or are you locked in as long as you delivering for as long as y'all showing up, y'all locked in for that term? Like, how does that work?
I can say that. I would say as long as it's. I'll be honest with you, AJ. I just got this new contract in maybe August.
Yeah.
It's been hell.
Okay.
First cleaner wasn't doing the best.
Yeah.
And she went AWOL. She found someone to clean. I let them clean for a minute. When I did the strip and wax on the floor, I'm like, man, these toilets haven't been clean. So I had to find someone else. And now they kind of doing some slight complaining about that. With all that being said, I probably got a total. This is my only contract that's ever happened to.
Yeah.
I probably done had about a total like 8 to 10 complaints, and they haven't kicked me out yet. So, think about if I did that with Miss Susan's office.
Right, they ain't gonna play too much. Like, all right,
yeah,
we done with y'all. All right, because I was thinking, I'm like, I would imagine. I mean, the way the government work, I would imagine like you locked in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I remember,
you're locked in. You're locked in. Like and then every year when it's the right time to renewal for another year, they'll send me an email, be like, "Hey, Christian, this office is satisfied with your cleaning. Would you like to renew for the same price a year?" I say yes. Like I said, most of mine are lasting 4 years, so I don't think Miss. When you work with Miss Susan, she probably looking for the cheapest buyer every January.
Nice. Okay,
So
that
good.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go to the next one. He said, "Can you walk us through an example of how to cold call your customer?" So I'll do that at another time. I got a video on that. That's more of a general question. We're trying to keep it at government contracting. And so far, the questions are coming in well. If they weren't, then I would have did more general stuff. But I will say this, and I wanted to ask you this. So I'm glad you mentioned that. You got your very first government contract cold calling, right?
Yeah. I did, and I was just about to tell him. So when it comes to cold calling the government, you can just type in, go to ChatGPT, show me state agencies that are in this state of Nebraska. I think that's the state. I don't know, whatever the state is, and then it'll just pull them up. I couldn't think of Nebraska was a city or a
Right.
state.
I'm like, no, it is. We look bad up here. It is.
I never even been in Nebraska. I don't even know how they popped up on my head, but
right.
but that's how it'll be. You can just call it like the let's say Nebraska Parks and Recreation or Nebraska Health Department. You just call that and say, "Hey, my name is Isaiah. I own so and so cleaning company. Who do I need to speak with that's responsible for purchasing bids for your, there you go."
There you go. Bam. He just gave it to you. All right. Next one. Miss Denise says, "Good afternoon. Welcome in. Good afternoon to you." All right. Student review. My guy, B-Trey, checking in. He says, "We are starting a government contract on Monday. Shout out to you. Congrats. Matter of fact, let me get you something. Shout out to you. Where my sound effects at? Let me get you something. Shout out to you. Government contract. All right, so he says, "Someone I met referred us to a library. What's the difference between a government contract and a private contract? Thanks."
Me honestly, so I've been kind of at the private game for a while. I say I don't really know. I would say maybe their expectations are different. Scope of work could be different. I don't really have much to say on that one.
If he asking it the way I think he's asking it, basically, private sector is privately owned company. So anything that's not a government contract is usually a privately owned company, unless you clean it for a publicly traded company like Facebook or Amazon. I believe that's what you're asking. So no, a private sector mean like just another business that somebody owns. So all the other buildings that ain't government, basically. And then
that's how I was thinking too, like a little dentist office, a little
right. Yeah, that's private sector. And then you talking about government contracts, and I didn't know if he was like talking. Y'all had some different categories in the government contracting thing. I didn't know if he was talking about, but no, if you talking to the general like that, no, private sector just mean a privately owned company, which is basically all
not really different.
But all right, cool. Shout out to Miss Serena checking in. Said what up, fam. Appreciate you checking in.
Hey,
all around. What else we got? Tay Tobin says, "When I search for procurement in my city, what exactly am I looking for? Just anything that says cleaning?" Sorry, that's a silly question. That's not a silly question at all.
No, that's a great question. Yeah, so it'll say something like cleaning, janitorial, around those. Make sure it's janitorial services, because sometimes you'll read a contract and find out that you back to do for janitorial supplies, and I don't want you to waste your time reading it. But maybe
Facts.
janitorial cleaning. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Cleaning or janitorial. There's another next code for like maintenance services, because we do qualify for that if they have, but that may not be much on the city side though. They don't have city warehouses, I don't think.
Got it. Okay, fair enough. All right. Second cleaning says the contracts that are in. I guess that was a follow up to something else. All right. That is me. Make sure y'all check it out. If y'all interested, again, we got a course coming up. As long as y'all interested, go to cleanbizuniversity.com/government. So you go to cleanbizuniversity.com, get on that wait list, and then if we get enough demand for it, we'll make sure we put this out for y'all. All right. Let's see what we got. For the contracts in Arkansas, do you have? You already answered that already. You want to answer it again though?
Both. That's all I'll just say, just in case you didn't see.
Okay. And then my guy Wade says that's my issue. I thought, but you nailed that answer on the lowest bidder. But I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll follow up on that. What's low to you may be high to someone else too. So, or
exactly.
what's high to you may be low to someone else. You get what I mean? Everybody's numbers is different.
Facts. My guy Akeem Archibald, another CBN member, long time too, says, what gives you an advantage for getting government contracts? Good question.
What gives you an advantage? Longevity. That's the biggest advantage, is the longevity.
Break that down a bit. When you say longevity, you mean, well, actually, maybe let's make sure. So he's saying, like, I guess, what gives you an advantage to win the government contract bid?
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, I see how I just realized how you was taking that. Yeah.
Having the low number. Because I just got my certification this year and I haven't even presented it to not one contract. So I just got a minority certification. I don't even feel like they're really necessary, but yeah. Oh, another thing I would say an advantage of them is, now that you do a lot of government contracts, let's say if it's a company from Chicago or something like that, they're looking into this building that's a government building. Like, they do have government buildings that are like $20 million a year. Those are more like the big military warehouses and stuff too, right? Mm-hmm. But those companies that's usually bidding on them, they're so big, or they may not even be in their states, but they need a subcontractor. But if you're already in the government database, it's easier to look you up.
Okay, fair enough. My guy, Mr. Andrew Lewis himself, Clean Success Academy says, and they checking in from South Carolina, says Columbia. Information for sure, good information for sure. Already working on some stuff that you put me on to. Appreciate all that you sharing. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate you checking in.
That's Andrew, right?
Yep, that's Andrew.
Hey, Andrew Lewis, how you doing? I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. All right, who else we got? Do you mentor people who want to start government contracts? That's what he about to do right now. We've been pushing this guy, not just me. A lot of people in CBN.
Like, yeah, the whole CBN been pushing me. I'm really a shy and the mellow guy, but I mean, I like to talk when it's my people. When we talking about money and cleaning, that's when you can get me out my shell. But look like she's on Facebook. If she's in the CBN group chat, just message me on Facebook. I'm not too far from y'all. I'm literally probably in Memphis almost every month, and every week, and I'm trying to push more in Memphis. So all the subcontractors I can get in Memphis would be grateful. Speaking of Memphis, I just started back doing Airbnbs in Memphis. So if you're interested in that, give me a ring, give me a text.
For sure. And Miss Irish, by the way, I'm not sure if you're in CBN actual membership yet, but if you want to connect with us in the meantime, definitely go to cleanbiznetwork.app and click join membership. It's $99 a month. Once you join, you get the course and some software and a bunch of other stuff. And then you also get access to our private Facebook group. Tag him in the group. He on there. Tag me in the group. I'm on there. All of that. And then also, if y'all demand it, if he put out this course, definitely get that, because then he's the one that's actually teaching it. I'm just here to help make it look good, but this is the guy.
I want to tell him that the course is ready. We just gotta edit it. Then we may put it out, but more than likely we probably will.
Yeah,
I'm liking the feedback we're getting so far. So
right, I'm surprised. Like, these questions ain't stopping. I thought I was gonna have to buy some time and improvise. I love this. I appreciate everybody. Participation and all that. All right, but what else we got? Miss Almetric says your state also has a list for purchasing department for the phone number and email of each agency. This is a fact.
Yep. They can go back for my guy. I think his name was Isaiah. I think that's what they asked.
Yep. Perfect. Do you have? I think she meant to be. Do you have to be bonded on all or only if they ask?
That's an insurance question.
Yep.
I don't know.
I guess you meant on all the contracts.
See, I don't know because I say this. Once I work with the same agencies, like you remember I said I got 18, so like 10 of them, like 15 of them are with one agency, 3 of them are with another one. So once you just submit your insurance once, you're good. Like I think my insurance expired one time. They didn't even ask me to send it. So I don't just see what your state says.
That's the government. Don't
worry about the insurance unless it physically says on the paper you must have like a lot of insurance. Just submit the bid and then worry about it later. Because you can always get the insurance, you know.
That's exactly what I was about to add. So there you go. All right, my guy Charles Banks checking in. CBN family said, "Peace and blessings, family. Appreciate you checking in." He said, "What helped you get them?" I forgot what your original question because that sounded like a follow up to the original.
I think they asked. There was the one that asked what I use to get the government contract. What separates me?
Yep, exactly. And right, so he was elaborating, which you already tackled that. So I guess you ain't got to repeat yourself.
Ask them what's the lowest number, or do they have a budget? That'll help you. There you go.
There we go. All right. My guy there is back. He said, "What keeps you motivated to stay in the game and upping your skill sets?" You want to go first, or you want me to go first? That's a general question.
I want to hear you. I've been answering.
Go first. What keep me motivated to stay in the game? Akil Booker said it best. What she said back in the day when I interviewed her, shout out to her OG member. She said, "Well, that ain't gonna pay the bills. Number one, like, long story short, I got bills to pay, right? So we got to pay these bills. Like, we got to take care of these. I got kids. You know what I mean? I got to feed these kids. I got, you know what I mean, situations. We got things to do. We got things to handle. We got family to feed. So that's number one. But for me, the real main thing always been for me is I ain't trying to just settle for no damn 9-to-5 job. So I would do whatever it take to make sure my business continue to grow and continue to go. So I don't have to go back to work and answer to somebody else and ask for permission to pee, to ask for permission to eat. You know what I mean? Like, look, I can't do that. I'm very, very territorial. I'm controlling a little bit. You know what I mean? I like the shit to go the way that I want it to go. So therefore, I realized, all right, bam, well, I guess I better make sure that I stay on my game so I can remain in the position that I am, or even better, right? But one thing I ain't gonna do is fall off to the point where I gotta revert. I'm saying I'm doing my best not to, right? Because anything can happen. But I just make sure that's my thing is I don't want no job. I got a family to feed, and also I got y'all. Y'all, one of my third biggest motivation as well is I got all these people around all over the place that look up to AJ Simmons, that AJ Simmons inspired, and it's like if I fuck up, then y'all ain't no telling how that might affect somebody else. So that all of that keep me going, but that's my motivation.
I guess my motivation to be not at the lifestyle where I want to be at. I don't have that lamb truck outside yet. So I ain't got my house with the 3 acres and the sheep in the back. So
right.
that's pretty much it, right?
Right. You say you want a sheep.
Yeah, I want sheep, bro. I want to raise my own animals and stuff.
That's what's up.
I'm from Arkansas, so
facts. All right, but I got a question on Instagram. I almost forgot about him. He's a CBN member as well. Shout out to Devon Kenny. He says, for those working government jobs, what's the best site or way to find open bids? And this is from All Green Solutions out of Northern Virginia.
So you got your procurement site. Now I will tell y'all this is a website that I'm not really used to because I just got it for the month. Thank you for the I want to say this before. Thank you for the coming up with the idea of that course because it pushed me a lot the whole month of September to do a lot of research, and I figured out a whole lot of stuff. I figured out about operating in different states without having to have an LLC in there. So I appreciate you for putting it up on my horizon. But with that being said, there's also this website called BidNet Direct, I believe, or Bid Direct Net. Mm-hmm. And what they do is not a monthly fee. You have to pay a yearly fee. I was mad when I looked at my account and seen how much was out because I paid for 2 states, Arkansas and Tennessee.
Okay.
But most people probably pay for 1 state. So yeah, just search that up. You can either pay for the federal, state, local, and city, or just state, local, and city. I didn't pay for federal yet because I wanted to do state and local, but that's pretty good. Right now, I've been finding quite a bit of bids. That's how I found. I found a bid for the Nashville Housing Authority for that. I found a bid for 3 parks that need to be cleaned. I just been finding them. They got painting bids on there. If you do construction, any other thing, they got it all on there. So Bid Direct Net, that's a good website, but it's slightly expensive.
That's what's up. That was a great question. Shout out to Devon for asking that question. All right, what else we got here? Where am I? I'm right here. Shout out to Ira Smith, says you'll be joining the group today. Appreciate that. Definitely tap in with us once you in there. What else we got?
I thought you might have been a part of the group because I seen it said Facebook.
Yeah, no. So she on the CBN Facebook page, like the public one, not from the actual group. I wish I would. If I could go live from a group like this, I would have been definitely doing that. But
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you had a public group one. I'm gonna have to join that one.
Yeah, it's not a group; it's just the page, the Clean Business Network page. Yeah. What helps you get them? Oh, we already got that one. What else we got? What Keisha got that one? All right, I'm behind. Here we go. Shout out to Al Max. It was adding a little bit more game on that to Miss Charlotte. So she said you do not have to be bonded for every contract. There you go. And basically, like Christian was saying earlier, basically just read the contract. They're gonna tell you exactly what you need to get it. To read them, make sure that you know what I mean, try to follow whatever they tell you to do, and then like he said, you can always go back and get it. So all right, Miss Iris says, did your certification help win contracts? I have MBE, SBE, the long one, DBE with the city and county. And you did just mention that, but if you want to repeat that.
Yeah, I know all the ones she got. She got way more than me.
Right.
So I want to say congratulations, but no, I don't have any certifications, so nothing helped me win. So no. But congratulations for you for taking the time out to doing all of that. But yeah, they haven't helped me win anything. I think they can help you out more with subcontracting, from my understanding. But yeah, keep doing what you do.
Yeah, and I'll chime in on this too. So I heard, because I'll be interviewing everybody. So even though I haven't done government contracts myself, but since I'm exposed to so many people, I've taken that information. So I've heard it both sides. I heard some people say it don't matter at all, and I have seen some people say that it helped them win some bids. I believe, matter of fact, I think it might have been Combat Cleaning who said that her certifications helped her, even in the private side too, not just the government side. So can it help you? It can help you, but do you need it? No. So I think that's the best way to put that. What else we got? Yes, sir. He said you answered everything.
Thank you. I'm glad we helped you, bro.
Yes, sir. All right. Auntie and Culture Conversation says, I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. Shout out to Duval. How can I contact you outside of visiting your site? You can email me, aj@cleanbusinessnetwork.com. That's probably the quickest way right now. Unless you're in Clean Business Network, tag me in the group. All right. What else we got? Maine is cold calling that good. It really is. Like, it really is. I know for me, I built a whole lead generation company just off cold calling, bro. And we find leads for every single state all over the country, as well as Canada. So I'm here to tell you and when did we start this company? In 2018. We were doing that since then to now. It still works. Absolutely it does. Now, at some point, do I think it would die? I do, because of AI, because of regulations and stipulations and blah, blah, blah. And they put more and more hurdles. But until further notice, it always has. And until the foreseeable future, it will continue to work. Absolutely. You got a feedback on that, though? Yeah,
cold calling works. It is time consuming. Me personally, I need to start back doing better with cold calling. But if you just take just an hour out of your day, 30 minutes out of your day, I mean, you can do it. But yeah, it is that good. I'm still kind of shocked every time I think about it. That is how I got into my first government contract, just by cold calling. That's crazy.
Facts. No, when you said it in the group, I was like, what? he got a government control code calling, but when you just explained it to even earlier, that do make sense though. Because a lot of times too with these government contracts, sometimes, and we didn't even talk about this part yet, sometimes you can win just because you're the only one that bid on it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like being that you called, guess what? They ain't even got nobody applying for this thing. And so now that you actually call, it's like whole time they were looking for somebody anyway. So you never know. And that's why
it was right around the time when the bid happened. It was like around October-ish, around this time. Now, since we're talking about that, I do want to add this. So the government has different fiscal years. You know, like right now, I'm trying to target a lot of the commercial private sector, because they about to have their last of the year meetings. Oh, let's kind of cut budget on here. So I'm about to do EDDM marketing to a lot of these, warehouses and stuff. But go ahead.
Explain. What is you just said? This old big complicated acronym that us regular folk don't know nothing about. What you talking about?
EDDM marketing is every door direct mail.
Okay, but
it's something new that I'm studying, but it's just basically just mailing, instead of cold calling, you're mailing it to them.
Got it.
And obviously the people they're gonna check the Amazon package just so they're getting their mail, right? So it's like I know it's gonna get guaranteed to get there and get delivered, and just gonna try it out. But man, I forgot what I was about to say.
Damn, my bad. Damn. What was we
talking about?
Maybe I talking about cold calling, working, and
oh yeah. So the end of the year, the fiscal year starts in June, and then there's another one around September. So there's some times that you might want to try to call around those times. Maybe do a month before, because I can't really exactly remember, but around those times, those are the end and the start of the fiscal year. So that's when the government is actively searches, and at the highest. They're searching all year round, but those are when the highest is. You get what I'm saying?
Facts. No, that's facts. And shout out to my guy Charles Banks, who was basically on the same track as you just went on last 2 months of the year, y'all. And shout out to Miss Karen too. She always like to point out how the end of the year, that's when them contracts, they really be looking. A lot of those contracts end towards the end of the year. A lot of these bigger companies, they looking to look for new cleaning companies. So this is the time, y'all. If you ain't on them phones, if you ain't going door to door, if you ain't doing direct mail marketing, if you ain't buying leads, if you ain't doing whatever you need to do, this is the time, y'all. Stop playing and get to it. All right, this is a great question. I think it's the best question to wrap us up with too. Let me check Instagram, make sure. Yep, this is it right here. All right, but Miss Charlotte asks, have you had any issues with payment terms? And I think that's a great question.
No, I haven't. I haven't had any issue with payment terms. Now I have like little small issues where, like when we do the strip and waxing, they have to do some extra stuff to make sure it's approved. But that's about it. I never had to go knock on the government door and ask for my money. Fact. Or they might have a mishap, like when I first got into the account, like they were mailing me the checks instead of direct mail. But that's about it. Nothing like I've never been paid. Never, yeah. So,
fair enough. All right, I lied. One last one. You caught it right in time, Isaiah. All right, how do you recruit good labor for the company to fulfill your contract?
That's a great question. Great question. First, I'll start off by saying I do the old CBN method. Facebook, ask Facebook who can cover it. Join mom and dad chats in the city where the job is. Join their local chats, their local groups on Facebook. Just ask, y'all need a cleaner. Tell about the job. And this is my favorite one. Is going to the contract where I just won. Let's say if I know they're going to start cleaning around 5, I'll show up around 5:30. Or, maybe they don't show up at that time, but I'll sit out there until they're about to clean, knock on the door, introduce myself and say, hey, this job is about to end on October 3rd. Would you like to work for me? How much are they paying you? And there you go. Keep this, especially if they're satisfied with the cleaner. Always ask them during your walkthrough, are they satisfied with the cleaner?
Facts.
In case you want to do that. I like to pick the same people because I don't want to fire someone and have to train them too much, and it just makes it easier, especially because of these government contracts especially where I'm at there, I'm gonna have to drive 2 hours, an hour and a half, 3 hours maybe. Yeah.
I love it. All right, y'all. Well, we're gonna wrap it up right here. Click that link, y'all. Dropped it in the chat. cleanbizuniversity.com/government if you are interested in learning more about the course when it's gonna come. Be the first one to know about it. you already know it. When we do drop, it's definitely going to be a pre-sale price and then a regular price. So get on that mailing list so you can be the first one to know when we actually do drop it. But a lot of game here, bro. You even blew me away, ain't gonna lie. I didn't know you was gonna come with this much. And it was great questions to help bring this information out as well. So let us know going forward, bro. How can they follow you on all platforms, your journey, how they can connect and learn more, all that good stuff.
Okay, so yeah, my platform is gonna be Aquaman Cleaning 223. I believe that's my Facebook and my Instagram. My not Facebook, Instagram, my TikTok and Instagram. My Facebook name be Aquaman Cleaning, or you can just simply search up Christian Gilbert. If you got an email, if you want to email me, you can email me at aquamancleaning223@gmail.com. And that's MEN, as you can see right there too. So
perfect. All right, y'all. And I am AJ Simmons. I'm the Cleaning Business GOAT. And I'm founder of the Clean Business Network. And hopefully y'all got a lot from this, man. I know y'all did, because hell, I did. It was helpful as hell. Appreciate you, Aquaman himself, Mr. Christian Gilbert. Appreciate you for coming on, bro. And we'll do more of these, y'all. Y'all let us know. Drop it in the comments in addition to the chat. So after the video is done, drop it in the comments, man. Let us know what we missed, what else y'all want to know, how often y'all want this man to come back on here, and we will keep y'all posted, man. Make sure y'all go to cleanbizuniversity.com/government to get on that wait list, and we out here. Thank y'all.
Headed to the top, there ain't none of y'all stopping me. Used to say I never get a ring, Charles Barkley. Now I got a wife, got kids on property. Bubble-eyed beans that look like that be watching me. Okay, I lied about the beans, but that was hard though. I'm still in that black act, but she starred though. Cause that's all it takes. I'm flashing for. I'm on my grind, not no motherfucker.